All right, all right, all right. We got gangster ladies in the building. Sound like they got something that they want to talk about. But I'm gonna open it up, you know, gangster style, of course. I want to talk about emotional men and how dangerous they are to women. We're gonna check all that out tonight and definitely hear what the lady gangsters got to say. Gangster lady talk up next, everybody. You heard what I said. Gangster lady talk. Dame?
Okay, everybody. Welcome to Gangsta Lady Talk.
Well, the female version of gangster talk. The ladies felt like they wanted to say something tonight. Sorry about that delay.
Mm-hmm.
But before they get started, I got something I want to lay down. Um, Something that's still bothering me. Can you go on mute, please? Something that's still bothering me. Too many of our women are being murdered. Y'all know how I feel about that. Can go on mute, please. Y'all know how I feel about that. So, Desiree Coulter, black woman living in Phoenix, Arizona, was gunned down by her boyfriend, apparently too emotional to let her go. Ladies, emotional men are extremely dangerous. If you didn't know it before, you know it now. They are extremely dangerous. They are deadly to you. You don't want to deal with a man that doesn't have his emotions under control, especially a man that gets mad real quick, fly off the handle at the smallest thing. You don't want to deal with anybody like that. That's what I'm saying. We have to get back to courting. You see, when you court, you can learn all of these things about the person that you're with. You see, you shouldn't just be with a person one day and sleep with them the next day and then start a serious relationship the day after. You're missing out on a lot of information. You need to court. It takes time. Court the person 2 weeks minimum. I recommend a month if you're really interested. Have conversations. Pay attention to how this person reacts in certain situations. If you're at a restaurant and he gets bent out of shape because the waitress didn't bring a glass of water to the table, you need to get up from that table and leave. I'm talking about something as small as that, because that is a window into something much, much greater and much more menacing. Normal people do not become irate because a waitress did not bring a glass of water to the table. You have to start paying attention to these things, especially at the times that we're living in right now when things are absolutely dangerous for just about everyone because of COVID-19. You have to pay more attention to the smallest things. You see, most of us think something powerful or something huge cannot be found in a small place. It can. Something very, very powerful, something very, very big can definitely be found in a small place. This is what I mean by if a man is upset because the waitress didn't bring a glass of water to the table, that's a example of something big being found in a small place. That's a window to something greater, something much bigger, something that you really don't want to have any connection to. Ticking time bombs are everywhere now, more so than ever because of the situations that we're in. Emotional men are extremely dangerous. You don't want to be with a man who's just as emotional or even more emotional, or what you would call overly emotional. It's going to put your life, as a matter of fact, your life is going to be in danger. These are the type of men that'll kill you. They'll kill your children. Let's go back to the woman who was shot. The grandmother was shot. The uncle was shot. The woman was shot 11 times. Now, she survived. But look how emotional the man was when we played the tape. If y'all remember that video. Look how emotional he was. He was driving down the street, filming that video. Just emotions everywhere. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. It's over for me. It's over for me. It's over for me, man. It's over for me. I'm just see. That's the mentality of a young boy. You women have to understand the type of males that you're dealing with. Mentality is extremely important. Maturity is extremely important. If the male that you're dealing with has an immature level, an immature mentality, you do not want to go any further with this person, because you're going to end up with a man who cannot handle or solve problems, or solves his problems by having a temper tantrum with a gun because he's overly emotional. You don't want this. Don't fall for this. Guys crying, guys being very soft and all that. Don't fall for any of that. Stay away from soft guys. Stay away from guys who cannot control their emotions and cannot keep their cool, even under the smallest amount of pressure. Start paying attention to that. Guys who become unglued over ridiculous things. They just fall apart. They just freak out. Somebody bumps into them, they can't let it go. They just got to get that person. But these are dangerous men. These are dangerous men, and they're also merciless men because they are fueled by their emotions. So trust me, you don't want to deal with this. You don't want this kind of man in your life. Desiree Coulter tried to get out of a dangerous situation with a boyfriend that she realized a little bit too late was overly emotional. And she tried to get out. They got into a fight. And he ended up shooting her and then killing himself. See what I'm talking about? Catching a temper tantrum with a gun. That's not a strong man. That's not a mentally strong man. That's not a man that can handle grown men business. That's not a man that can handle adult situations. That is a very, very weak mentality. That is the mentality of a boy. Boys have weak mentalities because they're boys. They're not men yet. They're still in the process of being raised. They're still, their mentality is still developing, especially if they got a good, strong father. He's still working on their mentality. By the time the father finishes, the young boy should be a grown man with a strong mental and a strong emotional. A lot of these boys out here don't have that. And so their mentality never becomes tough. They don't become tough minded. And as a result, they can't deal with any kind of real adult situation. Any kind of a real adult situation that brings a little bit of either drama or adversity, they fall apart. They fall completely apart and they lose it. And if they got a gun or a knife, most likely they're going to use it. So I just wanted to come out and say this. You know, it's unfortunate that Desiree Coulter, 31 years old from Phoenix, Arizona, lost her life because she recognized a little bit too late that the man she was with was really a boy in mentality who had a fatal temper tantrum, which took both of their lives. I said to you ladies before, stop feeling sorry for men. Don't feel sorry for a man who's on the street and have nowhere to go. He is a man. There's a reason why he's on the street. I'm not saying don't help anyone. If a man presents a legitimate reason to help, that's one thing. But when you got guys who are very capable, and for some reason they aren't feel sorry for them, do not enable them. If a man doesn't want to do anything for himself, don't you do anything for him either. And most certainly, do not let this man take advantage of you and make his way into your home. Because once that happens, you're going to be in for a world of hurt. And so with that being said, let's bring on the lady gangsters. We got some things that they want to talk to you about tonight.
Okay.
Shout out to Morris Anthony, Shaka King. All right, so I'm gonna turn the show over to the ladies who felt like getting gangster tonight, and I'm gonna go on mute. All yours, Dane.
Okay. All right. Well, I've been reading this interesting article, and it was like I have two kids from two different white women, and I'm 100% opposed to interracial relationship. And I'm like, and I was like, what the heck? You know how he have kids with two different white women, and now he's saying he's opposed to interracial relationship. So I'm thinking, uh, the white women had done him all kind of wrongs and stuff like that, and that's why now he ain't been listening to nobody. And now after they done him wrong, he wants to be against interracial relationship. But as I read in the article, there's more to meet this. Do you think to meet this guy? It looks with this guy. All right. So, and he has some things to say that matches everything Max has been telling y'all all this time.
Yeah.
So first of all, the first woman he married, he didn't propose to her. She proposed to him. They had a child together. She caught him when he was down in his life, and he was hating himself. And she was big up in him and all that other stuff. So he thought, since we have kids, we have a child, not kids. Since we have a child, make it a family thing. For whatever reason, didn't work out. So he was free to marry whoever he wanted, and he did. He admitted that he did. But wife number two, yes, he did marry them. Also white woman who also has some mixed kids. So he has some mixed kids, she has some mixed kids, and they made a mixed kid together. And he started realizing his blackness, but living with her, a white family in a white city and stuff like that, and he was really feeling his blackness. She was having a problem with that. So it eventually did not work out. So that marriage didn't work, and he realized, no. That's not going to work. So they'd be like, well, you got two kids. What about your kids? Well, this is he says some interesting things. The kids are usually in a situation, mixed kids. Let me see. Let me quote him. I cannot overstate. I'm not sure it's because of the ultra white state. How many white women I've seen with black babies and children, seemingly raising them on their own. It saddens me to no end. For whatever reason, these women are left with beautiful black babies, raising them in the only culture that they know, white culture. Two things happen in this situation. The kids are either raised by an impoverished white parent with little interest in raising strong black men and women. Or they're raised by two white parents with zero interest in black anything. So that was a bombshell.
Yeah.
Okay. We've been discussing black men going to these other communities, especially white community, and putting big up in white women and putting them on a pedestal and that they better than us. and all that stuff, but yet they leaving them with kids and making them single baby mamas, which and leaving their children to be raised in white culture, either that has little interest in making them black men, strong black men and women, or no interest, zero. And what we black people got to understand is white people have zero interest in strong black women, men and women. So of course they're not gonna raise any child that they have with you to be black, strong black men and women.
Exactly. They're gonna raise them to be like they are. They're gonna raise them to be in like the way they are. They are not gonna raise them to be a black people or a black children because they know black children and black people we are strong and they don't want that. So they will be raising them like the way they raise their children in the white communities. You see, so this is the thing that the men don't you shouldn't leave your women and go to white women. You see, you leave all the way for black women and you make them baby mamas. But you see, look at something. We the black women, when you leave us as baby mamas, we always take care of the good children and the children being like a black children. But you see, the white people don't do that. They make the children be like them.
Or even worse, make them ashamed or being black, ashamed of their blackness, make them feel ugly, you know, always quick the show and talk about the negatives of black people, which makes them be ashamed or think there's something wrong with them, or they try to hide their blackness
Yeah.
or not
Because
acknowledge their blackness.
yeah. Because they've been telling them a whole lot of things that is not true about black people. So that they will be thinking that hey, black people are evil to us. And then even the children that they are from black men, children, they will be thinking that we the black people, we are evil. You see, that's what the white people have been telling their children that the black people that the black men give it to them. Because they don't want us to move forward. They always want us to be the backwards people. And then they make their children be shameful for them being black people children.
Yeah. And then if she married a white man, not as two white parents, you leaving that child open to be abused, not just by their mother, but by her new husband, who is pissed off as hell with evidence that his woman slept with a black man.
Yeah.
And he's more likely to take it out on the child before he does it to his woman. Because, you know, because that's living, breathing proof that, hey, she got involved, had sex, married, whatever, a black man. And now he got to use his resources not only to take care of his wife, but your child.
Yeah.
Because of course you going the way y'all cry and whine about child support. If you ain't paying child support to no black woman, we sure know you ain't paying it to no white one neither. That's why a lot of single white parents are impoverished. You're not taking care of your child, no matter who the woman is.
Yeah, because they don't care about their children itself. How much more they be caring about your own. And you see, black men have been thinking that hey, now when we will leave our black women, we can get better women in the white people. See what they have been doing to your children. So this can tell you that hey, You don't have any place to go. Be with your black women and make them as a queen. Let them be your own because they belongs to you. The white people doesn't have anything for you, man. They don't. They just make you feel like, hey, they want you, they like you, but they don't like you. Even they don't want you at all. We black women, we love you and we care for you. So be with us, not just be leaving us and then you make us a baby mama all the time.
Yeah. All right. So he goes on. Okay. The confusion and mistreatment of mixed children. And said we can pretend we live in a multicultural utopia, but the truth remains that blackness is still undermined and under attack. Our blackness is still being undermined and under attack. Get it through your heads, people. We're under attack. Always have been. It never stopped. It may go underground, but it's still there. It is in everything in this society. Everything is used is used to undermine and attack our blackness. So it don't matter if you sleeping with them, working for them, working with them, they friendly to you, you know, as a as an individual, or they seem to be helpful. As a whole, they are attacking and undermining, especially when the competition of resources. I've seen enough young people that's like, when they were in high school, oh, they my friends. It's not like that. But when they go out in the world and they going for a job and there's a fight to get the good jobs and the resources and the promotion, they see it then. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, go ahead.
Okay. No. Go ahead and say what you was going to say.
Yeah, I was trying to say that. Oh, wait, you see, when it's time for them to even give like a work for a black person, that a black person need to get a post in their a position in the workplaces, they don't care because they know the white people are many over there. They give it to the white people. Even they know that the black person can work better than them, they don't care. They will give it to the white person and leave you as a black. So why you chasing them? You see, I don't understand why these men leave we and they go for black, they go for white men, white women. Sorry. I don't understand why. You see, let us be realistic about everything that we are doing. We shouldn't leave our children with white people. We shouldn't leave our women with our men with white people. Let us fight and bring our own together. Come to your own. Leave the white people alone and come to closer to your black women, and let's build the black communities to go high.
Okay. Yeah. And this goes both ways. We're not just talking about black men with white women. We're talking about black women with white men too. Goes both
Exactly.
ways. Mm-hmm.
Exactly,
Yeah.
because some of the black women also are fighting to get married to black the white men, or because they think white men can take good care of them. They lie. They can't do good. They can't do anything for you. All they need to destroy your life, because they think because you are black, they will destroy their life. Then they'll be laughing at you at the same time, pointing fingers on you. Look at this black lady. Look at this black baby mama. They don't have anything to do. I don't care. But they were the same person make you be a baby mama. And you will be carrying their baby for them, taking good care of your child for them. But when they get your own, they maltreat your children. They maltreat you, even being the woman also.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So the also the problems is that the kids are caught in the children from these relationships are caught in the middle. They're either who are shown by the white because they're too black for the white and too white for the black community. So they experience that kind of trauma, and and experiences are double when they're in the school in their neighborhoods. They have an identity crisis that happen within the soul. You know, so yeah, you're thinking in terms we're gonna make beautiful babies together to mix in the child identity. You know, because as you get older, who are you? And is and it's easier for two two black black kid, two black parents, you black. Two white parents, you black. Now you got a mix up in here, and a child don't know how to identify. If they have a good and they have both parents there and work and it's good, they just say they mix. They can't go one way or the other. But if there's a bad situation, um, most of the time because that white community is what they're familiar with. If they've been raised by white and been exposed to white, they are going to lean towards the white. And then you have a mixed person going with another white person, then that person's close to the white, and they definitely going to be white.
Yeah.
They be turning white. So everything, Cynthia G. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to. But she is right about that. You know, and there's historical facts, and that's what she's been trying to tell people. There's the historical information, facts that there Egyptians are as certain communities, Kemet. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Used to be referred to as extremely black. But because of all these other white groups coming in and invading and mixing in there, you see the Egyptian today, there's very few dark-skinned Egyptian. They are white. And
Mhm.
it's happening. It happened in Argentina and even certain parts of Africa. Well, I forgot. Yeah, I just said Egypt. So the next
Yeah.
thing is, how can you forget your history and bed down and marry these people or get involved, or have children with these people?
But let me tell you one thing about people forgetting their history and they go back to them is that they all
Mm-hmm.
follow money and they think the white person can provide them their needs. But they're not doing that. You see, that is what they are following to rush into the white communities. They think they are going there for their needs to be safe for them or to be okay, to feel good, to feel comfortable because they know white people are in all the time providing. But they are not providing. That's the camouflage they use on their faces to lie to us. You see, they lie to us to take even our properties that we, the black people, we are having, and we are still following them. Why? Why are we not thinking fast? That these white people lies to us and make us be in slavery for a long time, and we are still under them. Why don't us be vigilant and make ourselves that hey, we are not going to be under these people again? We have to build ourselves very high, not to be under somebody else, like the white people.
Okay. Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. What? But you were saying, yeah, we it's like we want to erase the history. It, or as he put, it's curious how black folks have taken on the psyche of our oppressor to the extent we're saying silly things. That was 100 years ago. I was never a slave. So we pretend all that didn't happen. We pretend the rape, the incest, the molestation that happened to our ancestors, our great great grandmothers and fathers didn't exist. That we was treated like animals um, when it came to sexuality and like criminals when it came to interracial relationship. But
Yeah,
I
because
want to. Oh, go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah, because that's their mind. You see, white people always think that they can make black people like an animal, as so animal to say. You see, look at how when they get to marry to a white a black woman, look at how they treat them in our face. Look at how they treat them. They maltreat them. They don't even take care of them. They take everything that they want. They take everything that they have from them. You see, these things all is trying to tell us that hey, we the black people, we need to be fast. White people don't like us. Oh. Don't let me tell you something. White people don't just like us. They just want us to be, something for everybody to see that oh, black people are bad, but we are not bad. That's what they want to damage our image. Let us be one, oh, black people. See, let us love each other and fight these evil people, fight these evil white people, because they are here to destroy our black communities. They are here to make black people some kind of way to not love each other. You see, look at the pains that we went through slavery. Look at what they did to us, and now we are still under them. My people, why are we not going to fight against those things? But we are rather running to them. What are they doing it for? You, so that we are running for them. They're not doing anything. Both our women are running to their men, our men also are running to their women. What is wrong with us? Why?
Yeah, they need to ask themselves why are they doing it. But a lot of it is that a lot of us a lot of us are comfortable with the conditions as a whole. We find a way we are. As long as we have a job, car, place to stay, we're good. Not comfortable when it comes to discussing white supremacy or um or fighting for our rights as a black folks. Mm-mm. They fine, they good. They But when you bring that up, they get uncomfortable.
Yeah, because look at what they are doing to us. How many black people have their own businesses? How many black people have their own business that we can say? They have taken everything into their hand so that they can control us. You see, they take everything so that they can control the black people. We will not have anything, nothing. So that always we'll be begging for them. We'll be saying, oh, boss, please. Oh, this, please. That's what white people will need from black people. That's all. Always, we need to be under them so that they can control us very well. Very well. They go to everywhere to proclaim that black people are this. See what they have been doing when they come to Africa. They lie to African people that, hey, your brothers and sisters who are in America are feeling comfortable, but it's not true.
Mm-hmm.
They treat them, they kill them, they kill their children, they kill their wives, they kill their men. Can't we see all these things going on? Are we black people also fighting to be with them? Why don't us fight to be with our own people, and then we separate ourselves from them? And we fight what they have taken from us, and then we will take it from them back. Why?
Yeah. Hmm. Well, um, they they in such denial, or they, as I said, they just comfortable. They believe that okay, that community is better, but they ignoring the fact that if these people are killing their own spouses of their own race, what you think they're gonna do to you? But no, they got in their head, no, I'm valuable. They love me. They love us. But when push come to shove, no. They're gonna find a way to defend their, their own against you. Okay, just look at the case with George Floyd. Um, right now they're trying to put down that he died because of his underlying condition. I'm waiting for the prosecutor to nip that in the bud and go, would he have died? Would he still been alive? Or would a person of complete 100% health has survived with a knee on their neck for 9 minutes, constricting their breath? But I don't think the prosecutor is going to bring that up. Why? Because he's white. The cop is white. They protecting their own. They trying to lessen the charge. They trying to bring it down to manslaughter, that he did not intend to kill him. It was if he had been in better health, or if he ain't been on drugs, this wouldn't have happened. Bull. How many times have we're gonna see this over and over again? Face it. They don't care for us. They don't love us. They're not giving us jack. We're gonna have to fight for it. We're gonna have to demand it. We're gonna have to make sacrifices to get it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, civil rights movement wasn't perfect and stuff like that, but they were willing to sacrifice to get what they want. They sacrificed dignity. They was willing to go to jail, get beat. They was willing to be inconvenienced to break the bus company, you know, and to get better treatment with the bus company. So
Yeah.
what? They did not ride the bus. They didn't stop riding the bus for a week, 2 weeks, a month, a few months. Let me see. I think it was up to about 2 years. The bus was at its breaking point. They start to realize their customer base is black. Okay. All right. Since this is gangster lady talk, ladies, we are being mistreated by a certain ethnic group. We could fixate on one particular, but we're gonna lump them all together since there's quite a few of them. These different ethnic group called Asian. They are accusing of us stealing. They're trying to choke us out. They're attacking us. Calling the police. I think that's the situation with George Floyd. Calling the police. accusing us of this and that. I still ain't found the count. They still hadn't shown the counterfeit bill to this
Hmm.
day. Okay, what are we willing to sacrifice to break these Asians? We can do it. No longer shop at their stores. No longer buy products from them. We need our hair stuff. Oh, better yet, we sacrifice our hair. We cut our hair. We go natural. We don't go to their beauty supply stores. We find black or we order online. Eliminate the middleman and stuff like that. We go to black nail shops. They there. Oh shoot, go to the beauty school and stuff like that. And go there and get your nails done if necessary. They can use the practice, and you're more likely to find black nail technicians. Are we willing to sacrifice
Hmm. Yeah.
our look? Are we willing to spend the extra gas, walk a little further, go out our communities to find these black beauty supply places, these black nail technicians? Are we willing to make that kind of sacrifice, ladies? Uh-huh.
That is
How
the
many times
problem.
we gonna get
That's
our
the thing.
behind beat by these Asian groups before we get the point? And you know what's even worse? They're going to so far as to accuse us of anti-Asian and these attack on Asian people. What? One or two crazy people. Rest of the attacks ain't us. And if they are also about their Asian community, why are they sitting there watching the people being attacked ain't doing nothing?
Hmm.
Some of them cases, there were Asian people all around watching this happen to their elderlies that they love so much, or that this is horrible, that this would happen to an elderly person. Why were y'all watching it? Why did y'all run across the street? Why y'all, yeah, why y'all didn't tackle the so-called black person that done this? There was no freaking black person that done this. But no, y'all trying to make us the thing? Okay, I know y'all long game and stuff like that. Y'all gonna make it seem like it's anti-Asian that we don't come to y'all? Because now we starting to wake up. Yes, there's a few stubborn black women out there, just like there was a few stubborn black people during the civil rights movement. You think all black people followed the civil rights? We know that for a fact that wasn't true. There was those that favored Malcolm X. He wasn't in for, but he
Hmm. Yeah. Sorry. I think them is having a technical problem. But yes, as she was talking, that is a true thing that we need to do. We don't need to go to these Asian people stores to buy things from them to get our money from us. We need to buy it from our own people because we have our natural beauty, our natural health, and we can make a good girl for our natural things. Because black people, black people, we have more things. You know it. We are so natural. And because they don't want us to be a natural people, they just want to destroy us to buy the things from them. Buying those kind of makeups and those stuffs is not going to help us. It's not going to help us. Ask yourself, without makeups, are you not beautiful, my sisters? You are very beautiful. And we don't need any makeups. All we need is making ourselves a naturality because we have been natural since 80s, not now. And through the make us being slavery, they send us to slavery. We are so naturally, and that makes them badly because they take us being slavery, but we are still so beautiful, and they are not. So they introduce this beautician with the Asian stores for us to be working on it, to be putting our money on it. So look at us. We always send money to them. Why is it that we are not open it for them to bring their money to us? Because they want to destroy us. They want to take everything that we have from us. That's why they take our things and our properties we are having, so that we cannot even have a kobo. Let me tell you, my sisters, we should not go to any white folks stores, any Asian stores. See, black people, we have everything. Just that because we don't cherish our things. That's why we move to them. But let us cherish our things. As I'm speaking, see, let us be one. And let us pay the money to our black shops. We have our shea butters that make our hair soft, nice. Why is that we're not using our shea butter to produce things that we need, and we'll be buying it from Asian people? They take the shea butter to do a whole lot of things, and they still sell it to us. Whilst we the black people, we are those people who have the shea butter in our communities, in our countries. Black people, black women, please let us be vigilant of ourselves. I tell you, I will not tell any black woman to go to any Asian stores, or any black woman to go to any white folks shops to buy anything from there. No, I will rather tell you to go to naturality store like um black communities, black shop, African shops. Let us be one with our African brothers and sisters over there, and use our things to produce things over there, because that is where we are coming from. That is the motherland we are coming from. Why is that we are not going there to build the motherland? Now using our money for Asian people who doesn't even respect us, who doesn't even think of us, who even doesn't care who we are. All they do is that they want to destroy. Why?
Now they want to use us to build their community, uh, and and in detriment of ours. Yeah. So when we buy these Asian, that money go out to Asia, goes out to their community. That's why their community is doing so good now. They made trillions of dollars off of Black Beauty Supply, distribution of Black Beauty Supply. They almost got it completely dominated. And we got to break that chokehold, because they don't stop there. There are some Black owned products that at first they gonna distribute it. But they gonna steal it. They're gonna make copies of it, and then they're gonna stop buying it, or they
Well,
refuse to
you know
without
one thing.
without ownership of the partial ownership of the Black owned company.
Yeah, but you know something? They will buy the things from we the blacks. Sometimes they will not even buy, they steal for us. Then they will go and use it and come and sell it to us to build their communities. Whilst we have those things in our communities. Now we need to go there and build it and make it bigger, so that we can use the money to make our communities, or our black communities, bigger and bigger, for our children who are coming to get a better place to live, to get a better things to do, not to go and bow down on the white people or Asian people.
Mm-hmm.
Let us understand ourselves, sisters and brothers. We need to we need to understand. We need to understand ourselves very well. We are not saying this because we hate white people. We don't hate them. But just that they hate us and they are trying to steal everything from us. That's our problem. Yeah, because they are trying to take everything, everything black people have. Even our children, they are taking it. Our works, they are taking it. They won't even take our money. They have already taken it from us. So what else are they living for us as a black people? And what will we get it from what they are living for us? This is the time that we have to shine our eyes, not be sending things to for them, not be taking anything from them, so that they will still be the same as we are. For them to know that when you destroy somebody, somebody also can destroy you.
Yeah. Okay. So yes, there's a there's a destruction going on. There's psychological slavery right now. We ain't in physical slavery like our ancestors. We in a worse one, psychological slavery, and it's more powerful and has a stronger hold, and it's not as easy to break. And they've been doing it to us since we were children. You know, everything from the toys we play with, shows we watch. It's start um there's hardly any children show that have positive image of blackness,
Yeah,
or right now at this point is not black alone, because there's also a war on black love. So
mhm,
if you've been seeing on TV, we've been seeing a lot more mixed couples, black white couples on TV than we have anything else, and it's more positive than the black couples. We see that hey, you'll be happier and better and richer and more well off if you marry white. That bull crap.
yeah. Ask yourself if they want us, they want our good. Look at the movies they be showing to the children. Look at the cartoons. Look at everything that they are made because they want us to be destroyed totally from our childhood, even when we are in our mommy's womb, because we have been saying things that we don't supposed to say it. Look at the cartoons, evil things that they show on cartoons, only sex, 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 sex. Because they want the children to be destroyed by watching these cartoons and they'll be learning it from there because we don't have any place to go.
Yeah, yeah. The media and the TV, popular culture has it showing mostly degrade our women and teach our people that life a drug and promiscuous the best thing in life. Yeah, teaches our boys that drug use is normal and our women are just a piece of meat. Yeah, it gets worse. Yeah, especially when we see these reality shows like Love Is This and oh my goodness, or they show black women as being loud, ghetto, and what they call and ratchet, and our men as heartless, unsophisticated, promiscuous, or worse, feminine. Definitely trying to feminize our men. Yeah, and then there's the interracial couple shows. You know, well, because black women are the hardest to get to go to another ethnic group. now they starting to promote shows where black women are with white men and they are happy and they better and they have a better relationship with a white man than they do with a black man. All that.
Uh-huh.
hmm it's sickening. They so they try they already got the black men. Shoot, social media, hear them putting white women on the pedestal. Now they gotta get to the black women, and then we finish. Yeah, and it ain't just in America. There's even crazy shows in let me see in Africa. Let me see. They were talking about
Yeah.
a Nigerian reality show where these women are married to white men. These Nigerian women are married to white men.
But well, see, the problem with that is, right, if you got guys swirling into the white community, some of them are saying that they choose to invest in white communities because they don't like the attitudes of black women. But when you get into those white communities, you find out that there are white families there that aren't interested in raising strong black men. So now what do? You can't go back to your community because you just said that the black woman has a bad attitude. So now you're stuck with Becky and her family has no interest in raising your children
Yeah,
or
that's
raising your children with any kind of strength or raising your children with any kind of strong mindset. And you also have impoverished white families too. They don't want to take on the burden of someone else's children, especially another race. So what do? Again, this is the fault of black men. The black men aren't leaders. So you're supposed to have leaders to solve these kinds of problems. That's what leaders do. They solve problems. That's what black men do. Black men are supposed to be problem solvers. We aren't supposed to be having this kind of issue with our children. We're having this issue because there is no black leadership. And we're going to keep harping on it until somebody understands that we need leadership in these communities so these boys come up properly. It's dangerous when you raise a boy or allow a boy to be raised in the street or raise himself. There's no telling what's going to happen to his mind by the time he reaches adulthood. I just talked earlier about how dangerous it is for women to be around men who are overly emotional, men who cannot keep their cool. Even at the slightest thing, they fly off the handle or they stay mad for a very, very long time over something very small and trivial. When you start seeing signs of that, you need to get out of there because that man will most likely end up killing you. And like the lady said, we're being hit everywhere. Cartoons, video games. You have all these androgynous characters where you can't tell the difference whether they're male or female. They have the boys in a lot of these video games dressed with some kind of feminine, okay, they got muscles, but then they got long hair like women. They got the grown men in there, yeah, long hair, wearing bright clothing and very sophisticated, soft clothing, something that you would associate with a woman. And they are blurring the lines with our children. It's getting to the point where our children can't tell the difference between one gender or the other. And once they get to that point, right, they will accept anything. All right, these homosexuals are getting younger and younger and younger. I mean younger. Homosexuals at the age of 9 and 10 years old, 7 years old, already a homosexual. And we pretend, and we walk around here and we pretend that this is okay. And we don't speak out about it because we're going to be shamed if we speak out about it. Okay, if we speak out about a grown man wearing a wig that's standing inside of a electronic boutique, yelling and cursing at people in his manly voice, telling them to address him as Miss instead of Mister. I mean, we have to be out of our minds to comply with something like that. See, to comply with something like that is to be mentally unstable yourself and to deny the truth. See, they got you afraid of expressing the truth. If you express the truth, then you're homophobic. If you express the truth, then you are a hater. You are a gay basher. You are all of these derogatory things. Again, you got a grown man in a boutique with a wig on, a very noticeable wig, yelling and screaming at people because he wants to be addressed as a Miss or Mrs. rather than Sir, him, Mister. And we have to be out of our minds to comply with that. To comply with that is to be out of your mind. You're in complete denial of reality. Ladies?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's true. But it's the time that hey, we black women and black men, we need to be telling our youth that they are coming, or our children that they are coming, for them to know the truth.
Let me say
It
this.
has been
Let me say this here. Let me say this one more time. I'm sorry, Abby. Let me say this. I want y'all to think about something. We live in the real world in real time. You see a male clearly born as a male, walking around here behaving like a female and wanting you to address him as a female. Why you don't think anything's wrong with that? And why is it wrong for us to think that there's something wrong with that? That is out of the realm of normalcy, isn't it? I mean, let's take a look at this situation. He is a male because he has the genitalia to identify him as a male. Now, people try to downplay that, try to make it seem like that's nothing LGBT, the homosexual community. Remember, we talked about how they weaponize academia, come up with all these terms to try to downplay reality. Those genitals are there for a reason because he is a male and he has all of the functions of a male. But people will tell you, well, just because he has genitalia, that don't mean anything. Well, what does it mean? What else does it mean? See, this is what I mean, how you get caught up into this fear of not expressing the truth. If a man has genitalia to identify him as a male, isn't that important? And if you take it off, you can't replace it with a vagina. Not a working one anyway. So why doesn't that mean something? Because he has genitalia that identifies him as a man. I've heard LGBTQ say that, well, just because he has a penis and balls, that don't mean nothing. What do you mean? Well, what does it mean? What does it mean? And what is it supposed to mean if it doesn't mean what it should mean? It should mean that he is identified as a male, and it identifies him as a male, and it allows his body to operate like a male body and do what male bodies are supposed to do. I hope it means that. If it doesn't mean that, then what does it mean? So you got a woman running around here thinking that she's a man. There's something wrong with that. But why are we pretending that it isn't? Why are we walking around here pretending to play along with all of this craziness? And you're wondering why your children are suffering because you're playing along to get along, and they are destroying your children right in front of you. They don't have no respect for you. I often said that homosexuality is a mockery of a male and female relationship. And men who are gay are a mockery of women, and women who are gay are a mockery of men. I'm talking about the hard-hitting dykes. That's a mockery of men. And the guys who run around here wearing dresses and being all feminine, that's a mockery to womanhood. And the whole thing, the fact that they have a relationship, that's a mockery to a natural reunion between, a natural union between a man and a woman. You think about it when you look at their relationships, one is the male and the other one's the female. So if that's the case, that if you're going to be gay just to mimic a female and male relationship, then why be gay? What's the sense does it make to be gay? Because you're going to get into a gay relationship and do the same thing. One of you is going to be feminine and one's going to be dominant, right? That is a reflection of a healthy heterosexual relationship between a male and a female. So if you're going to mimic them or try to establish a relationship because it makes sense for one of you to be a male and another one to be a female, oh, I'm sorry. All your academia and all your intelligence and all your super rhetoric, you found out that in a relationship, it makes sense for one to be feminine and the other one to be masculine, or one to be dominant and the other one to be submissive. You found out that that makes sense. So now you're doing it. You're mimicking the natural union between a heterosexual male and female. So if you're going to do that, then why even bother being gay? If that's what you're going to do ultimately anyway. I don't get it. What's the whole point of being gay if all you're going to do is mimic a relationship between a heterosexual male and a heterosexual female? Ladies?
Well, it's like I always said, they're confused, and they always on a certain level know that heterosexual relationship is the correct relationship.
Now I have a niece that's gay, right? And she lives in a gated community in Las Vegas now, and I guess they're all LGBT, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she told me that when they break up, they throw each other's furniture on the street.
What?
Right, and so in that particular neighborhood that she lives in, she said it's easy for her to get another girlfriend because all she got to do is walk around and look in the front window. If she looks in the front window and sees no furniture, then that woman is available.
Oh my goodness.
Right. And she's available, so she goes and knock on the door, introduce herself, and say, "Hey, I noticed you don't have any furniture, you know." And the girl says, "Yeah, I don't. My last boyfriend." She calls the gay woman she used to be with her boyfriend.
See, told you.
Yeah, she says her last boyfriend took his furniture and left. So yeah, I'm free. And so to establish a relationship, you just go get a U-Haul and move your furniture in, and who y'all an item. But it's the kicker. If you get into an argument and break up, she gets to throw your furniture on the street.
Yeah.
So my whole thing about this, and this is problematic for our children, we need to screen everything that our children are either watching or listening to. I've been barking already about demonic energy coming from hip hop, and that you should no longer allow your children to listen to hip hop and R&B. It's all demonic now. You also got to watch these cartoons. You got to watch these cartoons now because these cartoons are very raunchy. They're very gender blind. They're designed to confuse your children and to get your children thinking that there's no difference from a boy or a female. I'm sorry. My food is almost here. I'll be right back, ladies.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, that's all part of against black love, because, hey, it's also the slow extinction of our people. The more black folks they can have make gay, the less children there will be, and eventually go extinct. Okay, so this author this article, because because of his past, he runs into people. He talks about how there's an attack on black love. Oh, if it's interracial, they're all for it. But for black, if you promote black love, you have all kind of people going against it. And he kept a tally. He said, "This is the issue. We would defend whiteness and any other race being involved with us, but make excuses not to be involved in all black groups, organizations, and even relationships." And let's be honest about it. We know, seen, heard, been part of, where people are all for everything white. White people, white organizations, white this, white that.
But my thing is, if you're going to make a black group, then the black group has to be about building for black people, building infrastructure, start building the things that we don't have. I say this, brothers and sisters, let's get together and start building something. I don't give a damn. We build a playground. We got to start somewhere. It's about working together. We don't have the experience of working together in large groups like that. So when you get together, you got to do something just to get it started. Even if the project is meaningless, it's not the project itself at first that you're interested in. You're interested in the unity that you're forming and the cohesiveness from working together. Once you get that solidified, then you can build something more valuable to your people. But you first have to get that cohesiveness and that experience with working with each other first. And then we have, speaking of black groups, we have black groups now. The problem is that they are shields that hide irresponsible men. Too many of our men are irresponsible. The Manosphere has thousands of members. The Igbo has hundreds of members. The Kaddish community has thousands of members. These are all irresponsible men. I'm still trying to figure. I can't get past this, right? Why is there a black male version of the Manosphere? I'm gonna need somebody to answer that for me, because the original Manosphere is white men. And they formed that because they're having their own issues with Becky and Karen and Julie and Barbara. Okay. I don't understand, why is there a black male version? What are we doing with a black male version of the Manosphere? What are we doing with a black male version of MGTOW? Those MGTOW dudes are white, socially awkward, really into their sex blow-up dolls and sex robots and all kinds of stuff like that. What are we doing with a black version of MGTOW? Why do we have black men following white men when black men should be leading their communities and their people? Why do we have black men following white men and doing what white men do? So the next time you go and support the Manosphere, understand that they are a black version of the white Manosphere, and the white Manosphere is filled with a bunch of racists. So that would probably justify why the black Manosphere hate black people, because they want to be just like the white Manosphere. The white Manosphere hate black people, so the black Manosphere hate black people, especially black women. So I don't understand, why do we have black versions? Somebody need to explain that to me. What is the need for a black Manosphere? What is the need for a black MGTOW group? Why do we need that as black people? I need somebody to give me an explanation of why we need that, because I don't see any need for a black MGTOW or a black Manosphere. Those groups are anti-black. Just like the black versions are also anti-black. So why should we listen to men who are anti-black and who are following white men? Why are we supporting people like that? What is wrong with us to where we just want to keep kicking ourselves in our own behinds? We just want to continue to chase our tail and constantly kick our own ass. I mean, these men are blatantly anti-black, especially anti-black women. And I still can't get past the fact that they exist, period. Like, what do they do? The original versions of these groups are white. Why do we have Negroes making a copy of it when they should be out here raising children, doing right by their women, doing right by their community, leading their communities, building infrastructure in their communities, building schools? We're talking about, well, we don't have black schools. Well, black men won't build any. We would have some if you would build some, but we don't have any black hospitals. Well, black men won't build any. See, we keep having these arguments, right? But we don't understand the content in these arguments. And we don't realize that we having these arguments that we're having are useless and they don't make any sense. We still keep having, well, we don't have any black hospitals. Because black men aren't building any. But we don't have any black schools because black men aren't building any black schools. Then you go around the corner down the street, talk to Bugsy and Juju and them, and they want to be educated and sound philosophical, and they're part of the 5% nation, and they also want to be at a higher state of consciousness. So they sound something like this. Yeah, man, but black man, what it is that black people are so programmed and programmatic that the white man set it up in the mind. So black people will always need and want and never build. But you see, when you go to a higher state of consciousness, you have to ask yourself this question. Why are we black? All right, why are we black? I don't know, man. I can never find the answer to that.
Yeah.
And so, we have all of these conscious, higher state of consciousness conversations that lead back to the same thing. Black people don't have anything. So how many conversations are we going to have of a higher state of consciousness that leads back to the same thing? We don't have anything. Do we have to go to a higher state of consciousness to talk about that? I mean, we can stay at a low state of consciousness to talk about that. We don't need to elevate ourselves into the Milky Way up next to the sun just to know that black people don't have anything and that black men don't build anything. How high of a state of consciousness you need to be to recognize and understand that? Ladies, y'all have an answer for that?
Well, I think it's because less and less black men, especially of the next generations, have the skills or the trades to build. And they so used to, let's get the white man to do it. We need the white man.
Well, I don't think it's the white man. What I think it's the black man stopping other black men. Because every time I hear some brothers who say, hey, man, we're getting ready to do this, right? Mm-hmm. Other black men come out and talking about, yeah, man, but the white man ain't going to let you do that. And if you run to the white man, like, man, forget about the white man. Well, the black woman ain't going to let you do it. Now, these are the same brothers talking about, man, black people need to build something. Black people ain't got nothing. Black people need to build their own schools, their own hospitals, and buy supermarkets and shit. Yeah, brother, you right. You know what? Come on, man. We got some hammer. We got a net. We got some nails. We got some measuring tape. We got a couple of tube belts. We got some hard hitting brothers. We get ready to go over here and build something right here on this property. Nah, man. Whoa. Did you hear what I just said? Yeah, you said black people don't build nothing. So we getting ready to go build something right now. Man, the white man ain't gonna let you build nothing. Man, fuck the white man. I'm building anyway. Well, the black woman ain't gonna let you build nothing. But it's the same people, when they thought that you wasn't going to follow through, tell you that we ain't building shit. Then when you come with some act right and some follow through, then it's the same people telling you the white man ain't gonna let you build shit. And if you get past that roadblock, here comes the other one. But the black woman ain't gonna let you build it. So you build something, the black woman gonna run up there and tear it down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, somebody said they selfish and stingy. I think it's more like they don't build because it's lazy and unimaginary. But you know what's even worse? Some of them are talking about we're gonna go build in the white community, or we're gonna build in these
Yeah,
other
okay. Yeah,
communities.
right. Yeah, but the excuse for that was, well, black men are going to invest in building up white communities. I mean, what does that even sound like?
Mm-hmm.
Do we have people in their right mind in this chat room? What does that even sound like? Black men are going to invest and build in white communities. And think about it, this nigga think he educated everything. Black men are going to invest and build in white communities. The black man is divesting. Black women are a thing of the past. Black women have attitudes. So black men are going to divest and invest in white communities. Man, what does that sound like? Really? It sounds so traitorous. I mean, you can't go invest in a melanated community. I mean, somebody that at least got melanin in their skin. They got to be white. So now we got a big problem, black man, because the white man is investing in the black woman. He done invested $10 billion into the black woman. What do you got to say about that? And then you're investing now. This is why there's no leadership in our communities, and why our kids are piss poor, rotten, and turning into animals and monsters. Is because you got slick talking, so-called educated black men are taking their resources, their financial resources, and any other resources, and are investing it in white communities. So nobody better come up on this panel and tell me that they're investing in the white community. I'm kicking you off this panel. As far as I'm concerned, you're a traitor and you don't deserve to be up here communicating with black people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See, we have to start taking a hard stance and letting people know exactly who we are and what we will no longer tolerate. You don't tolerate traitors. A black man that tells me he's investing his financial resources into a white community, as far as I'm concerned, isn't a black man. To me, that's an enemy. Our kids need all of the resources that they can get in these communities and the leadership, and we don't have any. But you want to take your leader. First of all, you're not going to be a leader in the white community either. They already have the leaders. They're called white dudes, called white guys, white men. You know the guys you're afraid of, that you're so afraid of, that you take your lunch money over there. You're taking all your resources over there to invest in his communities. And he has no interest in raising your children. He has no interest in showing your children a better way. He has no interest in educating your children. Do you really think white people are going to educate your children better than they educate their own? Now, some of you are caught up in that. No, you're talking about education is free. Anybody can get educated. Exactly, anybody can get educated, right? But the people who are saying that don't actually believe in that, because if you believe that everybody can get educated, then why send your kid to white schools? You can get educated anywhere, right? Why send them to get educated there? They don't have the best interests of your child at heart. They can care less about your child. Matter of fact, if you send your child over there, they're going to turn into a guinea pig for biological experiments. If they're not shooting one drug up their arm, they're shooting another. I believe that they test drugs out on our children just to see what's going to happen. Some new drug that they done made up. And they make up an excuse to test on our children by saying, oh, he has ADHD. He can't sit still. He's loud all the time. He can't stop talking. He's running all over the place. Quick, let's shoot him with this new vaccine or this new serum that we created, this new drug, and see what happens. I'll be right back, ladies.
Okay. Yeah. I do be thinking that they be testing stuff out on our kids, but that don't mean we have to do it. You have to do your research. The first time I personally knew about ADHD, one of my baby cousins, one of my cousins' children, he was diagnosed with that. They wanted to give him, was it Ritalin at that time? Yeah, they wanted to give him Ritalin. And his mom was like, the hell no, they ain't. Now, my baby said, I don't trust the drug. I don't like the way I seen it done, how it does with the kids I've seen on it. So she did all kind of research on the drug. She had family members who were more knowledgeable than her help her look into it, do the research, find alternate ways of dealing with this. Because you did notice significant with sugar. Sugar, certain caffeines, chocolate, certain things that would just hype him up extra more. Not to mention, he's an active kid. He needs to burn some energy. Anyway, so she found all kind of methods. Okay, she changed the way she cooked and fed him. She was very strict about what he can drink, but she's not unrealistic, And if he gets a hold of something to drink, and because her child is very energetic, she burns all that energy in the morning. They live right next door to a park. She's giving him basketball. Go play. Send his brothers out. Go wear him out before y'all catch the bus. Go play. And when he get home from school, he has a snack, and she burn that energy out before he, go play outside before he could. So, because he won't settle down until he burns that exit. Not to mention being cooped up in the class too much. Some kids, especially boys, They need to burn that energy up. If it's not being burned up, it's going to show up in the classroom. And she understood her child. She really paid attention to her child. She saw how he was at school. She's a hairdresser. She lost some revenues because my child is more important. His daddy works. His daddy, take care of bills. My child is important. And she went, observed how he was in school, look at certain things, watch what he was eating to see what she can change. She didn't even let him know he was at school in case, he can, restrain himself. She wanted to see actually how he was, what the teachers was dealing with. But she wasn't about to give him no reeling. Never been on any of the HD drugs. And she did all these different work. She worked closely with the teachers, the counselors, all that. And he never was. Because the kids become dependent on it and addicted. And the next thing you know, this child is addicted to other stuff. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, I'm with Max. Don't trust it. There got to be other ways. There are alternate ways. And you got to be willing to make the sacrifice. She sacrificed income from her business to observe her child. She changed the way she cooked and fed her child. She discovered all kinds of stuff I didn't even know of. Some of the stuff we know today is her observations. Certain preservatives would get reactions out of him. Certain food colors and dyes. A lot of the stuff the kids like have all these added stuff was triggering. Okay, sorry, I'm getting off topic here. But basically, before you let them drug your child, you find all kind of other methods that you can before you let them drug. You can say no to the drugs. Oh, yes, you can. It's your right as your parent. And that you believe that drug is addiction. You want to try all kind of methods first. You tell them you want to try all
black people
methods first.
And black people go with it because so many black people believe what white people tell them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So if they tell you that your son, now here's a child, how is it that a nurse at a school, a white nurse who's never seen your child before, only seen your child 1 or 2 times, came in for a visit, how is it that she's able to diagnose your child and you've been living with this child since this child was born and you don't know what's wrong with your own child? My mother knew everything that was wrong with her children. We couldn't even catch we couldn't even sneeze without her knowing about it.
Mm-hmm.
If we were moping, right, she would come and find out what's going on. If we was doing something that was strange, she would come and find out what was going on. She would investigate. She would ask questions. If she saw us reading something inappropriate, she would step in. She knew everything that was going on with her. We couldn't hide nothing from her. If there was something on our mind, we had a problem with a government or whatever, she knew about that too. So I don't understand, how is that you've been with your child his or her whole life, and some white woman is going to tell you that your child needs this drug because your child can't sit still. Your child is too active. Think about that for a second. You have to be absolutely crazy to listen to someone that tells you a child is too active. Have you ever seen children?
Mm-hmm.
You ever see children play?
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you have children, how they run up the walls, run around the house, can't stop moving this. I mean, for someone to say that they are too active and you actually go along with that. And you actually tell your friend, well, she said my child was too active. So they had to give him a shot. Too active. Yeah, that Belmore. Shout out to Belmore. Exactly. And so you have black people who allow this to happen. You allow them to shoot these dangerous drugs into the bloodstream of your children simply because they tell you things like your child is too active. Are you are you serious? He's a child. Children are always super active. You ever see a litter of kittens? How they run up and when they get to a certain age, they jumping all over the place. They run up the walls, jumping over the furniture. Are they too active? Your child is too active. Your child is too hyper. Of course, children are hyper and they're active. They're children. It's normal. But some of us believe that it isn't normal because we brought into this stuff that white people are selling you. They've sold you on the fact that they want to harm your child, and you bought everything they're selling. And so when your child turns into a zombie because he's been shot with either Ritalin or Thorazine, you think it's for the good of your child because a white woman told you, a Becky told you, a Becky who don't even know your child, who's not even a doctor. Do you know in some of these schools, these nurses are allowed to make medical diagnosis and they have absolutely no credentials to do so? You only find it in urban schools, though. You won't find it in white schools. In white schools, they bring in a real doctor. But in the black schools in the hood, they let nurses make medical diagnosis on a lot of children. I've seen it happen. And then the black parent doesn't question it. Oh, wait a minute. I'll be right back, y'all.
Okay. All right. As far as I know, she can. They would have to make a send you to a specialist to diagnose, but could be in some cases. All right. Yeah. So yeah. So especially if it's just some nurse. Nah, nah, nah. My cousin's wife, she went, got a specialist, had him checked over, and and mainly to find other ways, like nah, because even the specialist said no, there should be other alternates first. But unfortunately, I've seen some people put their kids on Ritalin to get the crazy check. Because I guess it's a disability. I think. Anyway, yeah. So hey, that could be going on too. Um, but they'll just be messing up their kids. So yeah, if they say let's send them to a specialist. And not just a medical doctor. This is because yeah, you're right. Because a lot of it is kids are active. You got to, but you see, everybody wants to do the lazy way, the quick way. Okay, this child is too distracting. Although I have to admit that some of them be really bad. Oh my goodness. But and you got like 15 other 15, 14 other kids you got to deal with, it gets to be a much. But the worst I've ever seen was a little white kid. He's wilding out. No controlling him. Nothing gets to him. And it's like he don't even know what you're talking about. Once he settles down. Yeah, they always wondered, did he get his medicine today? He's worse than any supposedly black kid I've seen. And you get ones that are talkers, they'll talk you to death, ask you a million questions, and you get ones that wilding out, they wanna play. And not just regular play. We're talking about shoving, fighting, and they don't care. Boy, girl, whoever.
Well, they don't say anything about their kids who are over there killing animals and mutilating animals. They don't get shot up with drugs. See, when their kids act up, they don't get shot up with drugs. When our kids just be normal, they get shot up with drugs. And I blame the parents because the parents allowed this to happen. The parents allowed this to happen. And they purposely try to confuse your children, especially at the lower grades. They purposely have rhetoric that confuses the child. And then they say that the child has a problem learning, so then they have an excuse now to put them in what is called special needs. And once they get them in special needs, that's when the needles start coming out. Because special needs is nothing but a child crazy house. That's all it is, people. It's a child nut house. Once they put your child into special needs, it's the same as putting them in a child nut house. It's a nut house. They treat your child like they treat people in the damn nut house. They got sedatives, they got needles filled with serums and all kinds of things to curb the attitude of your child. A mini child psych ward, special needs. It's a mini child psych ward, that's all it is. And black people, you're going to learn one way or the other to stop sending your children to these schools. You have to be crazy to send your children and allow your children to be alone for 8-9 hours a day with these people. Now, as black people, we have to get our community intact. We have a lot of black women who are teachers. We have a lot of black women who are educators. We need to start turning our homes into a network of classes to start teaching our children in our own communities. Like I said before, every black home is a potential school. We can work that out rather than sending our children to these foreign schools. Yes, if they're ran by white people, they are foreign. Because your child is being taught by people that don't look like him or her. Sure, they have black professors in these schools too. I mean, you've seen the likes of Boyce Watkins. What we need is a school with a bunch of Dr. Claude Andersons and a Dr. Umar Johnson. Say what y'all want about Dr. Umar Johnson. That's a bad brother. And he care about black children. I mean, he helps families with their children. I think it's every Thursday. They call into a show of his or whatever. I don't know if he's still doing it, but he would counsel families for free on how to deal with their children. I don't see a lot of brothers and sisters doing that. But we have to start networking amongst each other and start educating our own children. See, because if you educate your own child, then there is no limit to what your child can learn. See, in these schools, there is a limit to what your child can learn. There's different subject matters. They can't just cross over into a subject without going through proper channels and certain things happening. Well, with you, there is no boundaries. The child can learn anything. And there's no limit to what you teach your child. There's nothing from stopping you from teaching your child trigonometry at the age of 6. But when you go to these schools, these so-called European places of higher learning, there's procedures, there's steps that your child have to go through to learn certain types of higher education. Whereas they can learn this at a very young age. And so you take a school to where it takes your child 4 to 5 or 6, maybe 7 years to learn trigonometry because they got to get into a higher grade, versus you being able to teach them trigonometry at the age of 6. About time they get to where the person is who waited 7 years to learn trigonometry, they're like 7 years ahead of them. I mean, I've seen this happen. I've seen black kids get homeschooled and their intellect went through the freaking roof. I'm talking about straight blowout. To where they're getting into colleges and graduating colleges at the age of 14 and 15. Just intellect just went straight through the roof. Straight north. Because for one, a home environment is a wholesome environment for the child, right? All this plays into the psyche of the child. The child is comfortable. He or she is in a familiar surrounding. And they learn quicker. They learn much faster. And they can focus much better. They don't have to worry about the little bully boy. They don't have to worry about getting teased by their peers. They don't have to go through those kinds of things that a child would normally be subject to, which could hamper the child's learning abilities. In a home environment, there's nothing restricting the child. The child intellect can absolutely just go berserk and just fly straight north. I've seen it happen. I've seen sisters start homeschooling their children, and within 1 year, the child done went up something like 8 to 9 grades in 1 year. I mean, they excel at an unbelievable rate in homeschooling. I'm a big pusher of homeschooling. Go ahead, ladies. Let me go on mute. I'm sorry, this is Gangsta Ladies night. Let me go on mute.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah, homeschooling is especially good for our kids because a lot of kids, their problems is they need personal attention. They need one-on-one attention to learn better. And can't get that in school. I'm seeing that for a lot of kids, but especially for ours. And when you got teachers that have 14 to 15, sometimes more, they just rotate them to try to fit in as many kids.
Mm-hmm.
And then some kids need more time with a particular subject than others.
How does a child learn in the environment to where there's 40 children in the same class? Are you
Well,
comfortable sending your child to a school where the classroom is 35, 40 deep? I wouldn't be. I wouldn't let my child attend a school like that because there's a high percentage chance he or she won't learn anything. There's too many kids in one class. And the teacher can't really give that many children enough attention. So the best she can do or he can do is give a lecture, hoping that the kids are following. It's hard to learn. It's hard for a child to learn with that many kids in the class with all kinds of stuff going on, especially if the child needs extra attention. You see, in homeschooling, if your child has an issue, you're right there. You can fix that issue in an instant. And the child doesn't feel some kind of way. There's no kids laughing at it. Or if the child is being homeschooled and he's reading, he or she is reading and he missay something, there are no kids there to laugh at them. All it is just the mother or the father who's teaching the child there to just correct them. And this really boosts up their willingness to learn. And I'm telling you, man, they just fly through stuff. I've seen it with my own eyes. That, learning becomes fun to them because they're home. They can relax. They do their work. They read much better. Everything is just 100% better. So dang, yeah.
mm-hmm.
And so we have this situation now. You see, common sense is killing us, people. Other races don't do what we do. Like, Spanish people wouldn't send their children to an all-black school.
Mm-hmm.
Whites would probably send their children because they can always educate their children at home. They would send their children just to spy and find out what's going on. Because they're always because they're going to educate their children anyway. But foreign people won't send their children to a black school. Chinese people won't send their children to a black school. So why should you send your child to a foreign school? A school ran by foreigners. So these kind of common sense things, they kill us because we send our children into these environments and they don't care about our children and they do our children wrong. They leave our children behind. They make sure our children struggle. And when you get the child back at the end of the day, you think there's something wrong with your child. But you're not in the school, you're not seeing how the teacher is discriminating against your child by not giving the child certain things to do, certain type of homeworks to do. We had over in Jersey, where I grew up at, I think it was PS14, where they had, I think it was 5 or 6 teachers that they fired because they found out that they were teaching the children according to the way they were dressed. So if you sent your child to 14 school and he was wearing Gucci, Fendi, or Fila, something like that, your child got the work, you got the attention from the teachers, he got homework. But if your child came in to school with just regular clothes on, just a clean shirt, clean pair of pants, shoes, with no name brand, nothing like that, they didn't get any work. They was meant to sit in the back of the class. They didn't teach those kids. They had them kids sit in the back of the class, never gave them any homework, never cared if they had a book or nothing. and they finally got caught. And of course, they all got fired. They probably will never work in teaching again. But that's what they were doing. They would teach the children according to the way they were dressed. Now, if that can happen in one of our schools, that's in our community, imagine what can happen to your child in a community where everybody is one race and they dominate the school. Oh, and there's something else you got to worry about too. Peer pressure, right? You got to worry about your child being ridiculed. You got to worry about your child being bullied. You got to worry about your child being chased home from school. You got to worry about somebody trying to snatch your child's lunch money. See, all that is eliminated through homeschooling. You don't have to worry about a teacher not teaching your child according to the way he or she is dressed.
Yeah. Or that the teachers or the schools not going to tell you things that are affecting your child, like they being bullied, and you find out when the child commits suicide that all this time your child been bullied since he first went to school. Well, yeah, but as I find, I go to school. A lot of kids just need some attention, one on one. Now, the kids that are doing well, in spite of the limitation that their teachers are doing, it's depending on how involved the parents are, or in some cases the grandparents are. Yeah, they helping the kids after school, with their homework. They got their kids in the tutoring program. I know some of them have brought books like or hunted them down like the ones that kid has for school, because a lot of their workbooks now they can't bring them home and stuff like that, and they go over it again. And those kids are the ones that's managing to do okay, going through a system where it's just too many kids. The teacher cannot give the kids individual attention. They gotta teach them as a group. Don't let it be a day where you got one that's distracting. So that bleeds up into other things. Not only can't give the individual kids the attention they need to learn, it also bleeds into they can't be patient with the kids that having some emotional issues, or let's say mental issues, because they got too many kids to be able to give all their attention to one. Yeah, and every time a kid is homeschooled, you see an uptick in their grades. I mean, seriously. So I've seen some of them jump grades because of the uptick. But once they get back into school, everything comes into play, and their grades start to go down. They dealing with peer pressure at school. Teachers have an issue with them, or they have an issue with the teacher. Um, uh, the, the teacher is not teaching it where they can understand and get it, and ain't trying to, because you do have teachers like that. They're teaching, but if you're not getting it the way they're teaching it, instead of trying another way to see if the kids get it, they will they will they would just shut it down, Well, too bad. You ain't getting it. So maybe like half her students got it. Then she'll just concentrate on the ones that got it the way she taught it. And the ones that either need an alternate way to understand what she's talking about, or a little bit more time, or to go over it again a few more extra times, no patience for them. Yeah. And we're having fewer and fewer black teachers, even black female teachers. Shoots. When I went to school and I was coming up, at least half my teachers were black. Now we was noticing a slow downward spiral to black male teachers. Oh man, do we need more black male teachers? Especially for our boy. Oh, I never seen so many excited kids with the black teachers coming through. And we got a few boys. They ain't listening to no women. They don't take us seriously. But let a man come through. Oh, whatever you say, sir. That's all they say. They saying, sir. That you can't get them to say yes, ma'am. But they can say yes, sir. Even some of the girls need that masculine discipline. What did your teacher tell you? Sit down, because this teacher that I know of, he's kind of he's more of a sub. He's a sub PE teacher type thing. Shoot, you can tell when he comes through. They get all excited, and whatever he says, go. But yeah, and they're thinking, well, you see, that's another issue. Okay, we got quite a few single mothers, and they got to provide for their kids because daddy ain't there for whatever reason. Death, divorce, don't want to. So that was the dilemma for the pandemic. Once she has to start going back to work, who's gonna be there to take care of kids, to make sure they that they homeschool, even the homeschool, so that is a possibility. What Max said, y'all get together and see or check with the retired teachers in your community. Maybe being to a small town. I know which teachers are retired and stuff like that. And which are capable, or might be interested in, and the parents could rotate, if y'all do like a pot. That's what's been going on. Do like a pot. Okay, if you talk to one of the retired teachers, see if she'd be willing to take, say, maybe 5. And each parent has, parent or two has to come in one of them 5 days, that they are, and she make sure they homeschool, give some extra explanation. They see the child needs a little bit more, or they're not getting it the way the teacher that they have is instructing them, or it can help them, and do something like that. Each mom would be there to help assist.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
I wish more women had knew or thought about it. The only ones I knew that farm pots were parents who are teachers. and 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 it was this particular family, they got a principal, a sister-in-law who's a teacher, a mother's a sister that's a teacher, and the man himself, he's a teacher, but he's mainly a principal, but he still teach and stuff like that. It's just that he doesn't have the patience for the really young kids, teenagers. Okay, so it's like, okay, you gonna handle the teenagers, and his wife and his sister split up the kids. One had the really young ones, one had the middle group.
That's it.
Hold on a second, y'all.
Oh yeah. Yeah, sorry, I think she have a call. Yeah. What Dame is saying is very true because you see sometimes this thing they just need help. And we the mothers we have not been doing that. We always leave everything for the teachers to do it. And that is not the right thing. You see, as your daughter or your child come home, just assist him. Whatever he brings home, whatever knowledge you have, just add it to his own. You understand? Add it to his own. And then when he go to school, whatever the teacher teach him, he can remember everything. You understand?
So, Avana, how did y'all do during the pandemic with the teaching of the kids? Did y'all homeschool the kids while everybody was on quarantine?
Okay. With the pandemic now, we see our children are in school now.
Mm-hmm.
We did not quarantine the children in the house. Now the school is open. So every child is in school now. And we don't do whole school. We never in Africa we don't do homeschool. We always go to the school to learn everything over there. So when the COVID start, that was the time they quarantine everybody to not go to any place. The children was in the house. So you the mother have to assist him or her in the house to learn some of the things. Yeah. But we don't do homeschool over here.
Okay. But then I just thought about it. Wait a minute, y'all Africa, y'all don't have a problem with white teachers or a foreign group teaching y'all kids, or do y'all?
No, we don't have a white teacher, we don't have a foreigner teaching our children. All my children been every teacher who have been teaching us here is a citizen or is someone who was born here, and all of them are blacks. All of them are blacks.
Okay. So y'all living what we want for our kids. We want them to be. We want our kids to be taught by uh, black people who look like them, who understand how our kids are and what is them acting up or what is them having a problem. Sometimes white teachers, what we don't see as a problem, they do.
Yeah, because I know. Sorry. Yeah, I know something now. What you're trying to tell. You see, the white people have. We have some of them that they have an NGOs or they have hands under some of their schools, but they are not teaching over here. They don't have the opportunity to teach us because when they teach us, we are not going to understand it like the way our black people teach us over here. So we don't even assist them to teach anything in our schools or help us in our schools. All we need them to help is like they bring the things to the schools to help the children in the school. But yeah, that's the only thing they have been doing.
Mhm. Okay. Now, I heard you talk with Max before. Wait a minute, y'all have a 13th grade. Okay,
Yeah,
we have a 12th grade, but y'all got a 13th grade. What's that?
yeah, we have we have a 13 grade. over here. That is how our schools we started 13th grade that we have. That is you that we are in university any year. We will be in the first year in university. So we have the 13th grade, and that's make us being a great people sometimes. Yeah, it help us a lot.
Okay, wait.
That's
You had broke up a little. Okay, you had broke
was
up with a little bit. Yeah, broke up a
oh
little bit. We got them. I don't know if I heard you right, but it sounded like you said a 13th grade is like preparing to go into the university. Did I hear you
yeah,
right?
no. I said the time we'll be finishing our 13th grade for us to be going to the university. That time your 12th grade, you are in the university already.
Mhm.
When you come to America, they are in the university. But when you come to Africa, we are now going to the university. You understand?
Okay, wait. Okay. Okay. When you in the 13th grade, you are investing in your
No,
education.
no. Our 13th grade over here, we are in senior high school. We never been to the university. You understand? But in your 12th grade, you are in the university over there. You understand?
Okay. You broke up a little bit. Okay. Let me see if I got this right. Okay. Okay. Y'all 13th year is like um our first year in the university.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Okay. But they're not actually in a university.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now, I'm remembering from college, we had a lot of basic stuff we had to do, English, math, depending on which your trade is. So your 13 year is all that basic stuff you need for the first year of college. Math, English, sciences, whatever, depending on what you're going for.
Yeah.
So by the time you go to the university, you're going straight for what you making your career. If you're gonna be a doctor, you going straight into the medical stuff. Lawyer, straight into
Exactly.
the lawyer stuff.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. So y'all 13 years like the first
Yeah.
year of
The
college.
doctor or engineer. But if you want to be engineer, you do. Yeah, we've been prepared from there. So and we know we learn maths and we have 10 subjects that we do for the 13th grade. We have 10 subjects that we learn for maths, English, science, social, and then maths, English, science, social studies. That's the 4 core subjects. Then we add our electives. We have some of the elective that you want to choose. If you want to choose the local dialect, you add it to it. Maybe tree, Ga, Fanti, then you add maybe a Greek and other subject that you want to add it.
Oh, okay.
You
Okay,
understand?
okay,
Sometimes
okay.
we are very high ahead of you in when it comes to in terms of education.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. We used to be on the same page, but this is where I think the desegregation, us being put in with the white school, did us damage because education was high priority in the black community. Every you Teachers were very well respected. The teachers, there was a connection. The teachers to your family, to your community, to you, you know, and and so forth. But when we became integrated, when we became integrated with these white schools, now we under a lot of these white teachers. They do not care for us. They could give a dang. They're not trying to help us learn. They're not trying to help us improve, and they messing with us psychologically, and they intimidation and whatever. And so those, once we start integrating, all that got slowly stripped away. Um, we start to be dumb, stupid, and each generation, or let me put it like, not just from generation, each year, more and more got stripped from our black people. And then when you add all these other outside stuff that came in, then it became not as revered as it used to be. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't become as important, because even the parents that couldn't read or could barely read or only know how to sign their name, education was important for their kids, because they couldn't get it, because they had to work. They had to work the fields, or their family couldn't eat. They had to, they had to quit school because they were in farming communities and harvest, so they couldn't get their education quite as much as they should have, especially for the black boys and men. The girls were usually got a little further in education because they weren't needed for field work as much as the men and the boys were.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. So education is very powerful for our children. You see, because I understand what you are saying, because you see the children have been raised by all the white people and racism. You see, we never seen a racism before. We never been to a racism before. So sometimes we are okay. But you, my brothers and sisters over in America, have been in racism for their childhood till they grow. You see, that's the problem that they are having. We are black people. We are having now, and we need to stand and fight for it,
Mm-hmm.
because our children cannot be explaining racism all the time like this. You
Mm-hmm.
understand?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we cannot be allowing our children to see all the racism what is going on. That's why for me, I tell myself that, hey, we Africans, we need to support our brothers and sisters who are in America, for them to live or for them to be okay over there. Not the white people who be on them all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. And yes, and we gotta understand that not okay, not every African is like the ones we saw in the States. Some of them have been coon, or they believe that the nonsense that the white supremacists had brought on, or they just couldn't understand how they were being favored over us, and they were like, "We got here just a little while ago, and I got this, this, and this," and they think we're being lazy, even if we keep saying the white people is making it difficult. Yeah, but
Yeah, because that's what even some of our people are doing sellout over there. And when they come, they treat the black people like they are nothing to them, like they are not black people. You see, that's what I hate always. You are black and you see your colleague being a black person, you will go and bow down and kiss a white person's shoe, kiss a white person's leg for it. What do you want? All because you want to do a sellout. You don't need your black people. You don't want to help any black people in where you are. That's why when they come to America, they do a sellout, and I hate it.
mhm.
Go there and help your brothers over there. Go there and help your sisters. Go there and help your children. Go there and help your nephew or your uncles and your siblings over there. But don't go there and do sellouts. And we know most of them are doing sellouts but the good ones will come and help you, brothers and sisters. You need to understand it.
Yeah. Yeah, unless they've been exposed to it. Like I kept hearing about, bad things about Nigerians. I only met like two of them, and one of them, okay, he got his eyes open a long time ago about the white supremacies and the racism in America, because he came here as a teacher. They bringing French back into Louisiana after years of beating it out of it. They trying to reemerge, but where they sent him was to some of the racist small towns in Louisiana. So he saw it up front in his face, the racism. So he knows that we ain't exaggerating. He knows that we're telling the truth. Um, and if he's seen this, so when his brothers are telling him, yeah, there's racism and they suppress, he saw it. He's there. He saw it in action. He felt it. It was done to him. So he knows the black people ain't starting to him. Black people are not being lazy. He said, I see a lot of hardworking black people. He said, I don't know where this impression that black people are lazy. Now every now and then he sees black guys who let their anger get the best of them, and he couldn't see. And he couldn't understand. Look, they manipulating you. They deliberately pissing you off. So you lose your temper, either quit the job or do something, get yourself fired, so they can get their people on to the job. And
exactly. But you can't.
And I said, they ain't been taught about that. I said, my grandfather talked about it, and his brothers talked about it. Older cousins have talked about it. About, hey, now when you go working, and you're gonna be working with a bunch of white, Hispanic stuff, don't trust them. Do not let them make you lose your temper. They are not worth your job. And stuff like that. They would do and say and trick you and into doing stuff that will get you fired. And you're going to be mad and you're going to take a swing at them and you're going to be in jail and one of their people's got your job. Yeah, so I was like, I couldn't understand. Didn't they get this conversation? From male relatives or their community in general. That's another thing. I think we stopped talking to our kids about the racism and discrimination that go on day to day. We're not talking about somebody just calling you the N-word. We're talking about underhanded taxes, slide, stuff that would set your temper off, or the quick to tell on you for the slightest thing. You got to be on P's and Q's. You can't do what they do and be able to get away, because, hey, let's face it, white's going to cover white. And you're going to be, there's the phrase, cover your behind. That don't just go for, do everything you're supposed to do on your job, but it also means cover your behind against, your racist coworker.
Exactly.
Because here in Louisiana, you can be working side by side right there with a Klansman and you wouldn't even know it. So, all right. So we went all around the bend. We went way off topic. But then again, it was about this article. Yeah. So this guy is talking about He was talking about, okay, he's talking about those that into interracial dating, and um they'll pose a question like, okay, let me see where. Okay, I lost it. Okay, there it is. Okay, okay, there it is. Okay, he was talking about, that he wrote this article, so we can make a stand to build together. Concept of black folks building with black folks in mind. And he talked about talking with people about this, and there'll be some who be like, why can't I have a white wife and husband still build for my people? And
Mm.
they're thinking, okay, because we do have those out there that be like, well, just because I married white don't mean I ain't for black people, ain't for my community. And he said, well, sure you can to an extent, but he said when it comes to the pillar talk happening, when business ventures come up, when spiritual practices, schooling, and social constructs are discussed, guaranteed whiteness enters the room and accommodation will be made for said whiteness. This is evidenced by backlash that a person will get in a room where virtually or in person, whether virtual or in person, but full of black folks when this topic is breached. So imagine a level compromise within an actual interracial relationship. And to be clear, fair, there should be. Okay, so he's saying, okay, in your relationship, there's gonna be compromises. This is with straight up black folks. When you black to black, there's gonna be compromise, but you're on the same page because you're both black. Y'all both saw the same things, grew up with the same things. Y'all have the same issues.
Mm.
So the compromise y'all gonna be made as a black couple is gonna be entirely different for compromise when you're a black white couple, because the pillar talk that's talking about business ventures with schooling, with spiritual practice, belief, social situations that's going on, it's going you're gonna compromise just like you would compromise in a black relationship, except when you compromise in a black relationship, it's still gonna be black. But when you compromise and your partner's white, you compromise towards whiteness. Yeah. So he asked a question for those that want to give up on their go outside their community. He asked the question, how does being in an interracial relationship benefit black people? And he posed these questions to a person who wants to make a stand for building outside of one's own race. Yeah, they want to build a black community with a white spouse. How you gonna build that? How's it gonna benefit the black community? So he says there'd be crickets in the room. And they'll bring up that many great black men who did for the community married outside their race. They'll put Frederick Douglass as an example. But he said the issue of black unity and black liberation is what the main concern is. Think about it. Everyone who is thriving as a way practice specific things. They employ black. support each other's businesses, protect each other's holistic interests, but put one another first. Date/marry one another. From Korean to African, every race that find any level of success in America practice group economics, group politics, and group love. Tell this to black folks and we'll get defensive and irritated that someone is in my business or worry about who I'm sleeping with. Yeah. That's that defensiveness because you're right. The collective thought of African in America is almost non-existent. Putting ourselves first in all things is imperative if we're serious about our people thriving as a whole. But the trauma and self-hate that we have been colonized to believe has such a hold on us that we have the hardest time keeping everything black. Hell, sleep with who you want or who you will. Explore and have fun, but do not get into an actual meaningful relationship with someone who's not your own. Okay, now this is where he kind of loses me when he goes, sleep with who you want, explore, have fun. In other words, date for fun, but don't marry them. One leads to the other over time. If all you're doing is having fun and dating white, eventually that's who you're going to end up marrying. Black love is revolutionary. Let's be revolutionary. This is when the question has to be asked. Are we really serious about changing the condition of our people? If so, what are you willing to do to bring this into fruition? Change starts at home, and home isn't focused on well-being, isn't focused on the well-being of all African descended, heavily melanated people. Then what are we doing? Let's think critically about this thing. Truth, we need each other. And that's what we need to learn, that we need each other.
Exactly.
We only have each other. These other races are not our allies. Yeah, one or two say they are, but look, when it push comes to shove, when it comes down to it, it'll be for their own. And we should be for our own. We should not be afraid to be for our own. We should not fear that we're being accused of being racist of and stuff like that. We need to employ each other, support each other, our own businesses, protect each other's holistic interests. Now, I'm thinking they're talking about religious interests. Okay, your religion is different from mine. Okay, cool. You welcome to do whatever your religion does. Just and just let me do mine. I'll lay my hands out for yours. You lay mine, and I'll support your right to do everything you want in your religion. Put one another first. That's the big kicker. We ain't put ourselves first in a long while, and it shows in just about everything we do. And date and marry one another. Right now, it's looking bad as far as the dating and marrying one another. We either keep running into ones that want to run away from each other, and the ones that wants to marry black, they can't find the one because the ones that might be for them had gotten abused or beaten up or worn out, or they had so exasperated that they think you're just as bad as the other group. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And that black first, Max was not lying or exaggerating, is a black woman. But hey, the black woman first, black man. Okay, so you supposedly fell in love and want to marry this other race woman. um, then stop tearing down your black sisters. Don't talk about us. Leave us out of it. Okay. So we might look at you sideways about it because hey, you feel like you know that you're leaving. Okay, but now we got a whole swatch of men who are blaming black women for why they're going to these other communities when they basically either being cowards or they think they can still uh, um, um, married into these non-black women and still everything to be the same. Bring her to the barbecue, and we're supposed to treat her like we would treat one of our own. No, there's gonna be a little distance. We'll be polite to her, but she ain't knowing all the stuff, and because of your connection to her, you gonna be left out of a lot of stuff too. You're gonna be you'll be part of the community at a distance. But when you start tearing down your own women, the black women, oh, then you just said you're a traitor. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Now, to be fair, because now we're starting to have these black women that's talking about divesting and going there. The same applies to you too. Yes, yes. Yeah, I know you've been listening to the rhetoric of these men that saying, no, that black men don't want you. You had problems with dating and finding the black man for you. But just so you know, okay, you can. Just like with the black man, you can go, but just know you're not going to be as closely knit with your black community anymore. Just like he is not going to be closely knit. Because you're already sleeping with the enemy, and we don't want you whispering secrets into the pillow talk. We don't need you translating what we saying, because if we wanted her or him to know, would have said it plainly for him and her to know. You would have to show your support for the black community from a distance. You would not be able to talk on all black issues, and you should not. Okay, so Avana, I'm sorry, I've been taking over the conversation. Um, was there anything you wanted to say on what I read or what I was just talking about?
Oh yeah, okay. What I would say about it is that you see, I will just going to talk to my brothers and sisters, both sides. Let us be one and let us support each other. We shouldn't leave our women go for any other women. We shouldn't leave our men go for any other men. That is not going to help us. The right thing who's going to help us is that we need to be close, or we need to be with our men. We need to be with our women so that we can even build our black community very well. That other thing I can say. Because without that, we are going to separate ourselves. And we have already separated ourselves already. So now we have to make ourselves to come closer. I think that is small thing I have for my brothers and sisters.
Yeah. So, all right. So, just know that being in an interrelationship, racial relationship is It's not good. It's not going to be good for you. It's not going to be any good for the children that you have out of these relationships. Even out of the best ones, your children will only know a mixed relationship. They won't know blackness. They won't know whiteness. Out of the bad ones, it'll be white. Out of the even best ones, as far as I'm concerned, is the ones where they know they're black, they grow up black, they're surrounded by their black family. Those are the lucky ones, as far as I'm concerned, because those who grow up and they think they're white, they trying to be white, they are never happy because they can never be white to the white people. But since because of slavery, we got so many shades of blackness. As I like the variety of the chocolate rainbow, they're more likely to fit in and be a part of the black community. They need to know as much of their black heritage as possible because it'll be easier for them to be black. Yeah, and they're more likely to date and marry black. And don't go into we'll make beautiful babies together. Are they beautiful because they're your babies? Are they beautiful because they mix with whiteness? And are they beautiful because they're not 100% black? I like to think of my mixed cousins as black. Um, but I have to admit, one of them doesn't really have too much of a connection to the black side of their family. So they're raised by the white grandparents, and they saw their father. They saw their father occasionally. I don't think he has a connection to his blackness. Um, as for the other one, she got a chance to get to know her black family. But she knows that she has a white mother, she has a white sister. She knows that she's not gonna fit in 100%, but she knows she's black. So I have better hopes for her as it concern her being black. But there's a bunch of kids I see out there that are mixed, and I'm seeing raised by white people, white mothers, white grandparents in some cases, where and I'm like, oh my goodness, I feel kind of sorry for the poor kids because I'm seeing stuff. I'm seeing stuff that is weird when a mother's confronting a 4-year-old like as if she's a grown woman and having issues with her. And I'm like, why is this white woman treating that little girl like that? Because the little girl's black and she don't see her as a child or her child anymore. So she talked to her any old kind of way. Is she taking out her anger on the father, on the child? I seen
Yeah.
a possible. Oh, go ahead, Abner.
Yeah, it's true because sometimes they take their anger because
I saw something that surprised me, and I felt so bad, and I also felt so fearful because this child could possibly kidnap. Okay, if you didn't see the mother, you would swear this child is black. Child was the same complexion as me. Actually, both of them were. And I say hi. So when so I'm sitting in the car waiting for my cousin, and she gets out of the car, and I say hi, babe. And she got excited, turned completely around, and came towards me and started talking to me. And, she was excited that I was saying hi to her. Well, why is she excited about that? I'm so used to kids kind of, waving it off or saying hi and keep on moving. But she turned completely around, came towards me. If I was a kidnapper, I could have walked off with this child. And because the mother looks like is white, and I look more closer complexion to her daughter than, well, actually, me and her daughter same complexion. I could be mistaken. I could kidnap her and say, "This is my child," and probably get away with it for a long while, because there's no way they're gonna believe that white woman is her mother. And I was like, oh my goodness, I was a complete stranger to her. I just was being, just saying hi, cute little girl. And her mother called her and snapped her forward. And she was like excited. She was trying to tell her mother that she said, the lady said hi to me. I don't care, getting there. But I saw such an eagerness. I'm just like, she ain't been exposed to no black people. It's just her and her brother are the only chocolate people know. If she can get that excited that me, a stranger, was saying hi to her. How many of these mixed kids are being raised like that? How many of them actually are black as far as looks go, but they've been raised by white family members? Ain't really been exposed to anybody black. Black face, white mind. Okay. All right, Kim, now I'm going to be waiting for my book in the mail then. Yeah, but you'd be surprised how many mixed kids are dark. Yeah, it's just that I hadn't seen one in a while. I'm so used to the lighter version, the blonde haired black kid. So yeah, and then those that's being raised by just the white mothers, they get dumped into foster care after a while. But hey, I'm not trying to make this about mixed kids and all that stuff. White and I'm assuming white and black, because since she's my complexion and her mother's white, how do I know her mother? Because she said mom. But oh, okay. I'm all by my loans. Okay, and yeah. Yeah, and as I said, you can be working right next to Klansmen, never know it, unless they tell you. Are you? But yeah. So I was a little surprised, but we left before they came back out, so I don't know. And I'm like, that eagerness, that thirst for recognition from your own, or being around somebody that's like you. That's what it is. That thirst for being around somebody that's like you. And that's part of the trauma. So, hey, and be like, I want a mixed kid. Think about what you're putting your child through, But hey, I need to drum that in the heads of you black men. Think about what you're putting your mixed child through. Shooks, you should be even more so about making sure you don't have any kids. Okay. Yeah, Cotton Can. The white moms put their mixed kids in foster care. I I got a close friend and some relatives that's in social work. Oh yes, they see a high. But guess who goes in first? The girls. Turns out once the girls start hitting puberty, their moms can't handle them. I guess the personality, um, the talking back, or they don't see their daughters as their daughter anymore. They see her as another black woman. And oh yeah, uh, uh, I dealt with a girl. Well, I met her in my vacation Bible school. Um, she was mixed. Her stepdad is a black man, and his mother took her in because, well, it was to supposedly give her mom a break. You know, they said ever since she hit puberty, she been nothing but trouble. I said, okay, and said, I need to get rid of her. But the that child's dad is not in her life. You know, another beef dad. Anyway, so I said, well, I'll take her. I said, look, let her stay with me for the summer. You know, and that's not technically a granddaughter, but hey, her son married the woman, so all his kids is her grandkids, whether they're the stepkids or not. So I said, I can handle her. Take kids. And sure enough, now, when we first met her, okay, she was back talking. She was like almost ready to fight. You know, she's getting defensive all the time. Okay, okay. So you know, after that summer, over the following years, the year off and on, you know, gradually she been fitting in, making friends, and and you know. And she been fitting into the community. You know, she's considered black. She's marked as black, even though she don't quite have the look all the way. But enough that she would be mistaken for a red bone. And it helps that, as I said, Louisiana, we got a wide variety of the chocolate rainbow. And there's some full black people that, but you didn't know any better. You think they were mixed. But no, these are full black people. They have both black parents. If there was some white people, it was way, 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 way down the line in their family tree. But yeah, so you know, she fit in right there. And she was always talking to this lady who's a nurse who, I guess because they both look like they both are with this called a red bone. Please don't call nobody red bone. Even the red bones don't like being called red bones. They know they are. They just don't care for it. Anyway, but you know, and yeah, and she was happy. Whole personality change. Hey, Avena. But that's because she was with her people. She was accepted by her people. She was considered black. Nobody questioned her, look at her and say, what are you mixed with? Because her grandmother's her grandmother. And we would say your grandmother is that, and she, you know, as I said, in one family you can find a variety of skin tones. So, you know, nobody thought nothing of it. It wasn't until, you know, I was talking to her grandmother about her that I found out the situation. I said, why is she so angry all the time? And, you know, and told me a little bit. So eventually she went back to her mother. They were fine for a little while and then didn't work out. So the grandmother ended up keeping her. So this girl is going to grow up black. She's already looking at some black boys. So she'll be dating black. She might marry black. Okay. So that's what I said. Depends on how they accept it, And they're more likely to be accepted as black in the black community than they will ever be accepted as white in the white community. Yeah. Yeah, DeAndrea. Okay. Self therapy. I own a copy. I recommend that all black people. Okay, Kendall's recommending books. Okay. All right. Since Kendall's recommending a book, he is recommending. Oh shooks! I cannot pronounce that name. Breaking the Chains of Psychological Slavery. Just scroll up, everybody, to see what book he's recommending. Because I'll butcher. I think the only thing I got is the last name, Akbar. One of these days, I'm going to get around to the book club because I still want to go over the ISIS paper, mainly because I need to read it. From what I understand, it's because their skin is so light they can actually get sunburn. So they're reddening up if they in the sun for too long. Yeah, but weirdly enough, guys are not called that. Actually, that would be a fight. Color man, a red bone. But you see, a lot of that colorism goes historically in Louisiana towards the women. Dealing with the mulatto balls and stuff like that. But we ain't getting into that history. Naim Akbar. Okay. All right. Okay, let's see. Okay. We'll go back up. He's recommended Naim Akbar, Breaking the Chains of Psychological Slavery. Isn't there another book also? It's called something about breaking the chains of psychological slavery. Okay. So let's just face it. So when people tell you those who wants to swirl that you're not going to be able to be black first, yes, you can support black causes, black community, but you're going to have to do it at a distance because you're sleeping with the enemy, and we don't want nothing getting out through the pillow talks. Yeah. Because you're going to have to compromise. You're going to have to compromise in order to have a good marriage or relationship. And to compromise with whiteness, that means you're taking away from blackness. So if you with a black person, you're a black person with a black person, it don't matter how you compromise in the relationship with that. Hey, you're both black. So you cannot take blackness from blackness. So if you compromise with blackness, you get black. Okay. Okay. I'm going to end it for tonight. Unless somebody wants to come up and say something, I'm going to put the link one last time, and I'm going to give a few minutes to see if anybody wants to say anything or talk about something. But otherwise, I am going to end it. Okay, many people have children with people who have different religion, culture, skin shades, and so on. We have to learn to love each other. Yeah, but the problem the with that is a lot of those other don't love us, and they are complacent or actively involved in attack on black people. They either involve or complacent. Are they getting the benefits of? Mm-hmm. So yeah, you can marry all this, but still, if you don't love yourself, um, and you're putting all these other communities and stuff first instead of your own people. Okay, if you can't love yourself, how are you gonna love these other people? And if you can love these other people but hate yourself, what kind of love are you giving them? No. A lot of times you're running away from something, or you're having some kind of low level, hatred of yourself, or you're down on yourself, and this person happened to come around and pick you up, and or as somebody said, they caught me when I had nothing and I was low as you can go, and they pick me up and lift me up. No black woman done it. Yeah. Yeah. So if you were not in a low period of your life, would you have still married or got involved with them? And if you do it, how long are you going to stay married? Yeah. And just because they married you, had sex with you, got involved with you, don't mean that they love you. Yeah, because a lot of times when they have sex with you, you are their sex toys. It's it's even getting into Africa. There are a bunch of European women going to Africa and using black men as sex toys. And it's like, but she wouldn't marry a sex toy. Do you know how long women keep sex toys? They keep them till they wear out. So if the sex toys can last for years, it can last for years. Not to mention, hey, if they have no chance of marrying in their own community and stuff like that, no chance to get love from their own community and stuff like that, you don't think they will hop over to, hey, these black men love me. I can get me a black man and he love me. Oh, same thing happened. Well, yeah, we kind of been knowing about Jamaica. But, I'm in my head, I keep associating with black women. I keep thinking of Stella, how Stella got her groove back. So every time I think of Jamaican men, I think of a horde of black women who's going to Jamaican men to get love because they can't get it from the black men in their community. So they're going to other parts of the diaspora. A black person who's dating, mating, and procreating white and being pro-black is an oxymoron. That's what this author was saying. These type of black people are only going to go so far because they don't want to offend their white mommy or daddy. Stay away from some of these European women. Sick stuff going on in the world. Dang. No. Okay, DeAndre. Okay. Dame is not short for Damien. Dame is short for, well, actually, it's a old slang for woman. So no, I don't have to worry about these European women. They're not after me. They're after the guys. Oh, sorry, bro. Speak.
Hey, what's up?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be on too long, but I do want to say one thing about this whole like swirling thing. If you, especially some people talking about investing in white communities.
Uh-huh.
Um, if you don't want to invest in, let's take the guys for example. If you don't want to invest in black women, okay, I don't understand that myself, but okay,
Mm-hmm.
why not invest in yourself? That would be my main thing. It's like invest in yourself. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
then don't put other races on a pedestal. And I see
Mm-hmm.
that a lot. I seen it's got so bad. I see dudes who's supposed to be supporting black women, they still putting white dudes and other races of men on a pedestal for these women, and it's just like how can you put yourself down
Mm-hmm.
and to big up another group just because you hate black people? Is like you just hate black people that much you don't even care about yourself. That's just insane to me. So I mean, if anything, look, if you don't want to, if you're a person you don't like the other gender, okay, fine, whatever, that's your thing, but at least put yourself on a pedestal. Because like you say, they're running over there. It's either they're running because they hate black people, it's a worship type thing, or they're looking to them as saviors, and all those are going to turn bad because as statistics will tell you, they're not going to put you first. Those other races of people are not going to put you first. That you are not their first option, and you never will be. So I mean, so you can run over there if you want to, but just understand you're not the first option. You're probably third or fourth at best, and that's on both genders. So I mean, if you want to run over there, that's fine, but just remember you are not the first option. So that's all I wanted to say. Yeah, but yeah, that's it's crazy to hear this kind of talk. I'm gonna invest in another race of people like they gonna treat you like they treat their own. It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. And besides, our ancestors invested enough in them. And that was involuntarily. You involuntarily invest? What's the matter with you, man? Can't believe you open your mouth to say that.
Exactly. It's like you like you said, I mean, invest in yourself. So at least if you're gonna go over there, you're not blinded, you're not running, you're walking over there. And if you happen to find somebody, oh, okay, fine. But if you're gonna run over there, I mean, you're gonna run into anything. And I've seen that. I've seen that twice. I've seen people going over there, and it doesn't go good. It's just bad news all the way. But that's all I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to talk about. I gotta get to work. But thank you
All
for
right.
having me, Dane.
Oh, you're welcome. All right. Now, unless Kendall's coming up there, it surprised me and come up here. But nobody else came up. Or did I miss somebody while I was looking at something else? Um, in the article I was looking at. Okay. Oh, I can't believe they gone to Kenya. Okay. They've been having sex with black people for 500 years, whether we want to or not, and they still don't love you. Okay. Yeah. They still don't love you. Okay. All right. So So, okay, this is what I wanted to say. Um, okay, where is it? Where is it? What's it? Okay, first of all, no, no, okay, first of all, we gotta support each other's, and not just each other's business. We gotta support each other. If you got a business, we need to employ each other. Yeah, okay, protect each other, holistic interests. Okay, all right. Okay, I can't take it anymore. I gotta find out what they mean definitely when they say holistic interests. Cause I keep thinking religion, but I could be wrong. Holistic. Okay, let's see what holistic means. All right, holistic. Characterized by the comprehension of the part of something as intimately interconnected and inexplicable only by reference to the whole. Okay, that's not clear enough. Let me try another one. Characteristic by the treatment of the whole person, taking into account of mental and social factors rather than just the symptoms of a disease. Okay, well, okay, let me see. Okay, let me try another one. Let's see. A holistic approach means to provide support that look at the whole person, not just their mental health needs. The support should also consider their physical, emotional, social, and spiritual well-being. A holistic approach focuses on person wellness and not their illness or condition. Okay, so let's see. So when they say protect each other's holistic interests, we're talking about their whole health, not just their physical, their psychological, their emotional, and their spiritual, mental and physical health. Okay, all right. I just want to be clear, because I'm thinking religious, support that, whatever religion they go for, that's fine. I don't convert you, you don't convert me. And we just stick to our purpose. Okay. All right. Put one another first. Can y'all do that? Okay. Let's see. What else? Date and marry one another. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, could we put one another first? Okay. Kendall's recommending another book. Wait a minute. That looked like my cousin's name. I wonder if it's pronounced the same with Laila. Dr. Laila. African book, Holistic Health. Okay. All right. So if you're dating, if you marry outside of white, we got to evaluate you mentally and physically. What mentally and physically is driving you to marry white? Now I'm just playing. Okay. All right. So, thanks, Auntie. I appreciate the helpful information, mental and physical health. Okay. Shoot. We need to find a doctor that can mentally and physically evaluate us. So, in the meantime, we try to support each other mentally and physically. Oh, protect each other's mental and physical interests. Okay. I'm going to have to look into that more. Okay. What I'm going to put it down is, all right, you have your religion. I'm okay you have your religion. I'm not going to convert you to mine. You ain't going to convert me to yours. We're going to work together, and we're going to focus on our goal. And our goal is, what is that? La Isla, La Isla, La Ella. You sure it's not La Isla? La. Might have to break it down a little more. La Ala. Okay, Kendall, stop trying to. I was a sight reader. I was never good at phonetic. Sight. See the word, that's how you pronounce it. Of course, I did a lot of reading to myself, so I just used to make up or say what I think the words sound like. And because it looks kind of close to my cousin's name, that's why I went Laila. Hey, Max, I was just about to close out. You wanted to say anything before we do?
Huh?
I said I was just about to close out. You wanted to say anything before I do?
Well, what was you guys talking about?
We were talking about things that a race should practice and that other races practice to thrive specifically as a group. And it was to employ each other, support each other's businesses, protect each other's holistic interests. And I got stopped because I wanted to look up the definition of holistic to make sure I'm understanding what they mean by holistic interests. And put one another first, date and marry one another. And that's what every other race has in common, from Korean to African, that has them thriving as a race. But I got caught up in the holistic interest, so I figure it's more like, okay, you have your religion, you practice your religion, you try not to, you don't convert me, and I won't convert you to my religion. Respect each other right to practice what we want to practice, while we focus on what our goal is. As a Black people. Kira, but that was just my take on it. And then Kendall had recommended a book on holistic health, and I was trying to pronounce the doctor's name. I thought it might have been Laila, like my cousin, or but he was trying to tell me it's pronounced this way, and I said, okay, I'll be honest with you. I was never good at phonetic. I was a sight reader. I see the word, and this is the way it's supposed to be pronounced. I never learned how to phonetically pronounce a word.
So you still haven't done what y'all was talking about.
We was talking about everything I just talked about.
Okay.
Okay. Right now, I was stuck. I was on holistic interests. Protect each other, holistic interests. What did they mean by that? Now, I went into the definition. It means mental and physical health, the health of a person as a whole, mentally and physically. And I was like, still not quite certain what they mean by protect each other, holistic interests. I'm going to take it that way, that, hey, you can practice whatever religion you want. I won't convert you to mine. You don't convert me to ours. We're going to put that aside and focus on what we're trying to accomplish as a Black people, and concentrate on that. Leave our religions out of it. Or no religion, whatever. Just leave it out of it, out of the context of what we're trying to accomplish. So you can either comment on holistic interest. You can comment on, us keeping our religions, our individual religions, or no religion out of, because it's distracting us from accomplishing whatever our goal is as a Black people to do. So we get broken up into all these little groups and fractions because we have a disagreement about religion. Or we can get into mental and physical health, or me not being able to phonetically pronounce a word. I can't. He's giving me phonetic spell way to, and I'm not very good at that. So
Well, that's a far cry from the topic, isn't it?
that's why we finna close out. We're closing out, and then we kind of wandered into this as I was closing out. As you said, I talk too much. I guess I should just go peace, power, unity, everybody.
Yeah,
But
at this point, pretty much.
it's wellness, Dame. Holistic has nothing to do with religion. Okay, Auntie is trying to rescue me here. Thanks, Auntie. It's wellness. Okay. Well, I thought that should have been common sense. Protect each other. Wellness interests. Okay. So in other words, have our own doctors, y'all. You know, have our own doctors, hospital. Because we're losing too many of our people to doctors because the doctors ain't doing all that they can to look after us. They don't care. They just want our money going. Kendall don't want me to stop talking. No, Dave, you don't talk enough. Okay. I guess that's a sign I need to have more conversations with Lady Dame. Hey, information man, peace. Yeah, and my numbers increase. Okay, Dame can tell a good story. Why is I should have a bedtime story with Dame? It's just that the thing is, I need conversation to set off a story, or So if y'all get all quiet and don't say nothing, just to have me to come out of conversation out of blue, you may get lucky, then you may not. That's not a religion, self-worship. And it's not supposed to be self-worship. It's supposed to be loving yourself. Not where you can worship and not love. Yeah, there's a lot of people that worship themselves, but they don't love themselves, Kendall. So no, and don't try to make a religion out of worshiping yourself. There's enough of that going on around as it is. Yeah. So yeah. Don't you should learn to love yourself. You should practice loving yourself in all ways. If you bring those two words up again, I'm gonna treat you like I treat my younger uncle. I'm gonna smack you in the back of the head. Although I hadn't done that in years. He ain't done anything to make me smack him in the head. So you're gonna be his replacement. Come to think of it, let me see. Oh my goodness. I guess let's see. I guess he's gotten too old for that, We're about to come into our 50th and 48th birthday. So, okay. So Kendall recommended a bunch of books. And I kept asking him, when you going to mail me my book? Since he's, offering.
It's funny, though, when people talk about books, we do a lot of reading, right? But I wonder how much of the information do they put into action?
Yeah, that's the other thing. Not much of, especially if they're going into a lot of historical stuff.
Yeah, I want to know how much they put into action. A lot of people read books, but what are you putting into action? We aren't putting anything into action. That's why we're losing. People are not concerned with us losing. They're just concerned about us enjoying ourselves, reading books and things like that. But we don't have anything. We're losing. You got a bunch of guys in these factions studying bonehead science that won't help black people out one bit.
Um, well, that was just one time. Sometimes you gotta tell me over and over again. You can ask him, he'll tell you. Okay, but I think I just got a block on him. Oh, where was I? So I wonder if I can find it. I had this thing that I know I put it in Discord, but I wonder if it transferred to this phone because there was something in there that I really, really liked it. I hope I didn't delete it out. Sometimes I delete stuff out from my phone after a while. Back, I see a bunch of stuff I got to delete now. Okay. Dang it, it's not. Oh, wait, there it is. There it is. It's called The New Black Codes. Someone sent this to me and I liked it so much. Probably one of my cousins. We do not steal from one another. We do not kill one another. Oh, we need to work on that one. We do not sell or offer drugs to one another. We need to work on that. We do combine our dollars and buy collectively as a group. We need to work on that. We protect our own, women and children first. We need to work on that. We educate our own at every chance we get. That's what Max was talking about. We need to educate our own. We do not fight one another. We need to work on that. Brothers protect and build up one another. Sisters protect and build up one another. Brothers protect and build up sisters. I need to work on that. Sisters protect and build up brothers. We look for every opportunity to start our own businesses, servicing the need of our people first. Yeah. One of these days, I'm gonna find a way to put it in my in my show. Can I miss the repeat? Because I don't understand. Oh yeah. And hey, next time use the layman's equivalent of those words, please. Nobody thinks all the time in microcosm and macrocosm. I don't even think in macro. Every time I see macro, I keep thinking of macaroni and microchips. Yeah. So, what do you think of the new black codes? One of my cousins has sent me. Max?
Huh?
Oh, I was asking what you thought of the new black codes my cousin has sent me.
The new what?
The new black codes.
The who?
The new black code.
The new black code.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I'm busy trying to park. I wasn't.
Oh, listening. Okay. That's okay. Love in the microcosm self means having love for the person you see in the mirror. Having love for the macrocosm self means loving the person who looks like the person you see in the mirror. Okay. All right. So microcosm means love yourself, and macrocosm means love your people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're trying to shorten it to just saying micro and macrocosm. All right. I got it now, but I still prefer to go, hey, love yourself, love your people.
And let's shut it down, Dan.
All right. Good night, everyone. Peace, power, and unity.
Peace, power, and
Y'all,
unity.
y'all, rest of y'all, catch y'all on the replay, and see y'all for ladies' night.